Luka Doncic is perhaps the world's foremost white boy at the moment. His dominance on the court is unparalleled, as he is the first player in decades to lead his team to the NBA Finals while barely being able to dunk. But that wasn't enough for Luka. A wise man once said, how you do anything is how you do everything. And no one embodies that mindset better than number 77. Dominating a silly game would be too easy. No, it's not that it would be too easy. It's that it wouldn't be enough. So Luka set his sights on the most difficult first-person shooter game on today's market and said, "Come on, man! That's too easy!" He has consistently been Grandmaster over the last few years, while consistently improving in the NBA and eventually performing on the biggest stage in basketball. But how did we get here? Before, he was the man that even Bad Bunny made a song about, saying he could never lack anything, just like Luka Doncic. He was just a young Slovenian with a dream, a former professional basketball playing dad, and a very beautiful mother. He showed great promise at a young age, staying late after practices every day to play with older kids. In Slovenia, basketball is very popular, and they've actually produced a few NBA players. But the best Slovenian before Luka was Goran Dragic. Being an all-star and a Most Improved Player award recipient, the Dragon played for 19 years in the NBA for many different teams. At the same time, Goran's brother, Zoran, you really can't make that up, was watching Luka Doncic as he dropped a 54-point triple-double to lead his team to yet another tournament victory. He said, "I think Goran is the best Slovenian player ever, and I'm not saying this because he's my brother. But if Luka goes to the NBA, he can be a bigger star." The kicker? When Zoran said that, Luka was 12 years old. From the age of 10, he was already beating his dad's professional teammates in shooting competitions. And at the same age, he went to a basketball camp in the mountains of Slovenia where he was the youngest player by years. He dominated the competition so badly, they asked him to leave. He signed his first professional contract by age 13, and by 17, he was already playing against grown men. In America, most 13-year-olds are still in middle school. At 19, he became the youngest MVP in the history of the EuroLeague, led his team Real Madrid to their 10th championship, and declared for the NBA draft, and within a few years will probably be considered the greatest draft of all time. But for his accolades, he was underrated. Scouts said he was a poor athlete, and yeah, even Luka would tell you that.
Long, he can't move. I can move fast, but I can move faster than him.
They also said he was fat, lacked focus, and was too emotional to make it through an NBA season. He was still selected 3rd overall by the Atlanta Hawks, but he was promptly traded to the Dallas Mavericks to play with an aging European star in Dirk Nowitzki. By the end of his rookie season, however, Doncic was the Rookie of the Year and was being heralded as the next LeBron James. So what happened? The greatest rookie season in 15 years. He averaged 21 points on fantastic efficiency with a near triple-double average, won the Rookie of the Year by a landslide, and showed that his slow brand of basketball could work in the modern-day, fast-paced NBA. Since then, he hasn't fallen out of top 10 in MVP voting a single time, has been selected to the All-NBA first team 5 years in a row, and already has more selections in his 6-year career than Wardell, Stephen, Frederick Curry, has led the NBA in scoring, and led the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals for the first time in 13 years. Luka is known for two things come playoff time that I believe he translates to everything he does in his life. He elevates his game and he plays through his emotions. To show you how, let me take you back to 2022. Picture this. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers just dropped, the summer is about to begin, and you are enjoying life. Luka Doncic is in the trenches against one of the best teams in the modern era of basketball, who are fresh off a finals appearance with only Reggie Bullock, Jason Brunson before he was good, and a dream. The Mavericks are losing the series 3-2, and after a tough loss in which the Phoenix Suns stunted on the Mavericks, Luka walks out of the tunnel and says this. After that, he proceeded to spread the Phoenix Suns holes so wide they could fit a basketball, as he proceeded to drop a 34-point nuclear missile on Phoenix in back-to-back games, even beating them so badly in Game 7 that he didn't even play in the second half. He beat the Suns so bad, the franchise put out an apology. If I was Devin Booker and I had a fat European slob looking at me like this while I was losing by 44 points, I would have to shoot and kill him on the court in that moment. In his playoff career, he has averaged 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Good for second place all-time in career playoff scoring average. 1 spot behind Michael Jordan and 1 spot ahead of Allen Iverson. Pretty good company. But this whole time, it's been clear that Luka has one major vice. And it's surprisingly not Texas barbecue or hookah. No, it's Overwatch. In 2021, he first came out of the closet as an Overwatch player, asking on Twitter when Overwatch 2 is coming out. A bit early for that, Luka, as I don't even think the devs knew that information yet, but at that point, we all knew. He was as much of a degenerate as us, but at least he makes millions of dollars. But the first sighting of Luka Doncic on the ranked ladder came later in March of 2023, where streamer and former rank 1 1.9 Minecraft PvPer on Badline Network Moxie ran into him playing Zarya. The funny thing is, Luka actually recognized Moxie first. This guy is really one of us. They proceeded to have the following conversation.
You have any hobbies, Donatello?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Okay. Well, you go to a gym or you play
Donatello.
on a team?
Dallas Mavericks.
Well, the Mavericks.
Wait, like varsity
Yeah.
or?
No, real.
He even passed a quiz to confirm that he is in fact Luka Doncic.
What's the first name of your mother's name?
Miriam.
He's actually pretty good too. In the video, he was probably around Masters, but he has stayed around Grandmaster for years at this point, and even recently hit top 500 in the middle of the playoffs on the same day as they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 2 of the Western Conference Semifinals. What a go. If you don't play Overwatch, let me put into perspective how impressive that is. About 6 million people play Overwatch every day, and over 24 million unique individuals play every single month. 82.3% of all Overwatch players are in what is called the metal ranks, which are the lower division rank. Gold rank is the average. Us Diamond and Masters Warriors make up another 16.2%. But then there's Grandmaster, where Luka plays, holding about 1.5% of all players. Of that small sample, 500 players finished on the leaderboard, and we'll say around 1,000 individual players make it on the leaderboard during any given season. If an Overwatch season were 1 month long, Luka Doncic's achievement wouldn't place him in the top 1% of Overwatch players. It would place him in the top 0.004% of Overwatch players. And he is doing this during a 7-game playoff series. Inhuman. Just like it would be inhuman for you to not hit the subscribe button, like this video, and consider becoming a member to the channel if you're really liking the content. But anyway, if you don't follow basketball, the NBA has never been more competitive than it is right now. In 2012, just 12 short years ago, Monte Ellis, Darren Williams, and Al Jefferson were leaders in points per game. Rudy Gay was 16th on that list. They were letting a guy named Rudy Gay give them buckets. I'm not saying these guys are bad, but you probably never heard of these guys. Nowadays, number 16 on that list is a little player named Damian Lillard, and a few spots up is LeBron James. The league has never been more stacked than it is right now, and Luka Doncic sits at the very top of that list. This year, Luka Doncic became the 10th player in NBA history to have a 70-point game, scoring 73 points against the Atlanta Hawks on January 26th. Beyond that, on March 10th, the Knicks scored only 73 points versus the 76ers, in which they took 80 shots. On that fateful day, Luka scored 73 points by himself on 33 shots. Last year, the Sacramento Kings defied the odds and won 48 games in the 82-game season, finishing as the 3rd seed in an absolutely loaded Western Conference, which produced the eventual champion, Denver Nuggets. This year, they won 2 less games and finished as the 9 seed. In 1 year, the NBA had a massive jump in competitiveness in the very conference that Luka Doncic emerged from this year. Every team he played in this year's playoffs was a championship contender, and yet Luka has defied the odds. Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, Danny Ainge? No. Luka Doncic is the greatest 2-sport athlete of all time. Luka Doncic is the master of defying the odds. The fat European has not only defeated a team with 4 future Hall of Famers, but has also defeated countless no voice chat, no microphone Masters DPS players. To compare, Neymar is another professional athlete known for playing Counter-Strike. He plays and streams it all the time, and is known for playing up to 100 hours of CS per 2 weeks. He is pretty far away from the top rank, peaking at Legendary Eagle Master. Luka, with far less playtime during an intense run of the playoffs, became one of the 500 highest rated Overwatch players in the entire world. The thing about Luka Doncic is that everything people said about him was right. He is fat, he isn't athletic, but they were wrong about one key thing. He is a competitor, through and through, no matter what it is. Basketball, Overwatch, beating his teammate in FIFA and making him wear a jersey saying Luka's son. Luka can never give anything less than 100% effort, which is why I'm boldly predicting him to take home the 2024 NBA Finals MVP. That's why this video's sponsor is FanDuel Sportsbook.